Easy question to start then. Who wins it?
Who wins it? What are you talking about? Who wins what?
From the club, the award here for the men's team.
I mean, you guys tell me, who do you think's the favorite? I mean, I'm curious, actually. I think there's so many great options. Obviously, Daizen scoring, goals for fun. When Cal's in the match versus when Cal's not in the match, that you notice the difference. But no, again, when you're playing for still another trophy, you got one in the bag, and hopefully we're close to lifting up this league title. It means that everyone's been playing really well this year. Obviously, another one, Casper, for example. I think there's so many great options. I'm actually curious to see what the vote goes to. But no, there's so many deserving winners, so it'll be curious to see.
Have you made your vote for the Player of the Year awards out with Celtic, the Players Union Awards?
Yes, I believe so. So you mean for the Team of the Year, kind of? Yeah, we did that in the past week or so. So that was kind of fun as well. What's that?
Who did you go for?
Who did I go for Player of the Year? I'll keep it a secret for now. I'm curious to see who wins it as well, and I'll see if I was right or not. But yeah, we'll see on that.
Can you see anyone past Daizen getting that?
I think it's tough to look past Daizen. I think that goal record speaks for itself, and you see kind of the company he's put himself into. I mean, I'm hearing some of the records that he's breaking or equaling, and some of the names he's being compared to. It's pretty impressive. So I think that's tough to overlook. My guess is he is the front runner, and I think he'd be a very deserving winner. So hopefully, if it can be anyone, it would be Daizen. So yeah, no, he definitely deserves it.
You obviously got this game at the weekend, but yesterday you learned that the post-split fixture schedule could win the league at Tannadice. How do you feel about that? Just itching for it to come?
Yeah, look, I mean, we had in our hands the previous week when we were at St. Johnston, if we could have gotten a result there to then win it at home. Obviously, we didn't take care of business, but we had a good reaction this past weekend, and now we got to wait. Obviously, we got a cup semi-final, which is a massive match first that all of our focus is on, and then we'll get up to Dundee United, up to Tannadice, and hopefully we can take care of business there. But again, it's another team having a great season away at their place. It's not an easy place to go. They've made that a really strong home field advantage that they've had since they've come up. So look, we know it's going to be a difficult match, but at the same time is that when you're that close to it and you know that any result will get it done, it's something that adds a little bit of extra motivation for the guys, and it's something that we're all excited for.
You surprised they didn't schedule the Rangers game for the first game after the split?
Not particularly, no. From my time here and what I've been told is that normally it's normally kind of the second or the third match once the split happens. So I wasn't really expecting it to be the first one. I believe it is the second one, isn't it? So no, look, we'll got a couple big matches before that. Hopefully we can wrap the league up in Dundee and then go there and play really free and enjoy that match. But no, look, we got some massive matches still on our plate before we get to that one.
How do you feel the fact that the authorities try their hardest not to make that fixture a big key fixture post split?
Yeah, I can get it from that side of things in terms of just the animosity and what it requires from the police force. At the same time, though, it's a massive football match. We all want it to be really important and playing important matches during it when you're playing that match when that fixture's scheduled. But at the same time, it's like, look, we've played them 3 times already this year in the league, once in the cup final. So there's been plenty of times where we've played some big matches against them. So it is what it is. If it's going to have to be the post split, hopefully we can make it. Hopefully we can have the league in the bag by that point. But yeah, you never know. So we'll see.
In terms of the big game this weekend, Alistair, do you feel that the game up at McDermott Park 2 weekends ago was almost a wake-up call that anything can happen in these one-off games? Yeah,
no, it's a reminder of why you play football. It's not played on paper. It's played on a football pitch for a reason. At the end of the day, anyone can win on any given day. So yeah, it was a wake-up that if we don't perform the way that we know we can and we should perform, that we can lose any football match domestically, on the continent, wherever you want to play a match. So that was definitely something that I think kind of was a needed awakening, especially when you come into this this final part of the season here where there's trophies on the line. That it was good for the whole group just to refocus and kind of light a fire under some guys as well. And look, I think that we made some changes, obviously, after that match going to this weekend. And, you were reminded of some of the quality that we also have on the bench and that it isn't just a set starting 11. We really do have a really good squad here, and anyone that needs to step in can and will. So it just was a really good reminder, I think, to everyone that, yeah, look, you gotta play the right way, and you got to give everything, because these are good teams in this league, and you can lose on any given match. And you got to look at this. This is going to be a massive, massive match, not only for us, but for St. Johnston as well. This is a cup semi-final. This is a chance to get to a cup final. And everyone's going to be looking at that as circling this as what an opportunity. So we're ready for that. And you're right. The 2 weekends ago, it was a bit of a wake-up call for us, and I think that we'll be better for it.
The semi-final, you win that through to the final game of the season. So potentially just 3 victories away from winning another treble. How hungry are the squad for that, and is it now being discussed? I know it's not necessarily what you want to be talking about on game 1, but when you're so close, are you and the boys talking about it?
It's funny. I get asked this question a lot. Like, when do those discussions start happening? But honestly, change room doesn't change from really when you're in August, beginning of the season, to now. Where are we? April. Still, lads just showing up, going to work, and we're just lads at the end of the day. You're not too focused on the trophies. You're just focused on getting through the week, getting through the training, focusing on that next match. And that's been no different from week 1 to we are week, who knows in this season what week it is now. So yeah, no, there's still no talk of that. It's just really just focused on, okay, look, we got a massive match here against St. Johnston. Hopefully you can get through that, put yourself in a cup final, and then obviously that opens up the door to something else come the end of May. But look, and exactly that, the 2 weeks ago, it was a great wake up that they're not just going to roll over. This is a team that's going to have, this is the biggest match of their season. So we understand that. And yeah, so we'll get through this week. Hopefully we book our tickets for May 24th, I want to say it is. And then, we'll go from there. But honestly, like the treble talk, all that kind of stuff, it doesn't really ever get into the building. It's not something that's just discussed because it's just not really at the forefront of your mind. It's one of those ones that you're just so focused on the matches that you don't really get carried away with that kind of stuff. It's more one of those ones you go on holiday and you get to the airport and everyone's banging on about, congratulations, you won X number of trophies. And then you kind of really sinks in. So yeah, we'll hopefully get there when we get there, but no kind of discussions on that.
Surely as a player, I think when you first came here in the January, you won the treble.
Yeah, that was nice. It was a good start, wasn't it?
Yeah, so surely that's something you want to repeat though.
Yeah, no, of course you come here and it's in the DNA of this football club. You come here, you're not only expected to win, but you're expected to win trophies. Like last year, I mean, there was still a lot of tension, and we won 2 trophies, and still, even then, you kind of left the door feeling, you left the season going, we left something on the table there. And again, that's what's special about being at a club of this size and this magnitude, is that you're expected to lift trophies. And when you don't, that's a disappointment. So yeah, at this stage of the season, you're exactly where you want to be. You've picked up 1, and you're in proper contention for the other 2. So at the end of the day, sitting here today, I'm happy with how this season's gone. It hasn't always been perfect, and it's not always going to be perfect. But at the same time, is that when you really look back on the whole body of work and what we still have to play for, I think it's been pretty strong.
Will be a big domestic successful season. How big an achievement was the European campaign?
Yeah, again, I haven't really been able to fully look back on it and absorb what we did. But yeah, it's never fun to get knocked out. But going out to a team like Bayern Munich, one of the top teams, getting out of the league phase, I think it was a big stride and a big step forward for us. But at the same time, is that this club has massive aspirations to continue to push on from that, and why not be the team that kind of makes more of a Cinderella run? And I think that we have the team here that can do that. And obviously now we're building the experience as well, the European experience within this group, this young group, that when it comes, hopefully that time next year, if we qualify, that we'll be ready for that as well. Be more prepared even than we were this year, because that, at the end of the day, is that, the domestic league and the domestic cups have to be your bread and butter, but that's always kind of the icing on top is the European campaign. I know it's something that I know our fans are desperate for, and I know we gave them quite a few memorable nights this season on those European nights. So, look, it's another reason why you sign for a club like this, to play and hear the Champions League anthem at Celtic Park and to have those away days. So it's been a really positive campaign, I'd say, and another good building block for us, hopefully going into next year.
Alistair, saw your reaction after Cameron's goal at the weekend. How much chat was there in the dressing room after that?
Well, I've just never seen him score in training, let alone a match, pretty much. So to see him winding up from there, he's done it a couple times, and I just go, no, or if he's going to hit a die, I just say no. But to be fair, I nearly started saying no, but by the time it left his foot, it was already in the back of the net, and yeah, I was probably the most shocked one in all of Celtic Park. I still thought it might have been a cross, but nah, to be fair, you watch it back, it's an unbelievable hit. I mean, the ball just, it's by the keeper in a flash, honestly. I mean, the keeper could barely even move. It was already in the upper stanch of the net. So fair play to him. I'm glad he had one in his locker, because honestly, I didn't think it was in there. I'm glad I didn't get hurt from doing it either. But yeah, it was a hell of a hit, wasn't it?
Is he quick to remind you then when he does score the odd goal?
He's such a down to earth guy and quiet guy in that aspect. But I'll definitely, if we ever have a goal scoring competition at some point, and maybe in the future we look back on some of our goals, I think his best goal is going to be a little better than my best goal ever was for Celtic. So yeah, I'll give him that. I honestly, it might go down as goal of the year. So fair play to him. He'll always have that one in the memory bank. And yeah, no, I'm just happy for him. He's a great guy, one of my best mates. So it was nice to see him have a great moment like that.
You're saying your best mates there. You faced each other, Canada, USA last month. You're acting almost like a peacemaker. What happened there?
Well, he was telling me before the match that don't come near me, I'll have to 2-foot you. And I was like, all right, lad, okay, yeah. And we were having a little back and forth, kind of before the match. So obviously we were up 2-0, and I was in a great mood. He maybe wasn't in as good a mood, and there was a little scrap, not really, even a little scuffle kind of in the corner, and I saw him going after one of my guys, so that was my opportunity to just go fly in there and grab him. And I was laughing at him, and he had to break character as well. He couldn't really stay too mad when he saw me come in there and grab him, push him out of the way. But no, look, we have a great time. It is funny that he plays for obviously my biggest rival, but we enjoy that too. There's good friendly banter with that. Also bringing Austin Trusty as well, another American contingent. So it's been a good laugh, and it's always, you play for bragging rights, definitely. So I knew on that flight back, he was sitting beside me the whole way, that I had a big smile on my face the whole time. So that definitely helped. I
bet it did. At the weekend, Alistair, Brendan said that he will 100% see out the remainder of his contract. Former players like Stan Petrov have come out and said, well, the club should try and get him on an extended contract. What's the feeling within the dressing room?
Yeah, no, look, the gaffer's been great since he's walked in the door. I think his resume speaks for itself in terms of not only his time here, but his time abroad. Yeah, I mean, he's a winner. It's as simple as that. He's a manager that you love to play for. So obviously that's definitely above my pay grade, those kind of decisions. So I think at the end of the day, it'll come down to what the gaffer wants. I think that he's proven time and time again what a top manager he is, and how much he loves this club, and how much he loves being here for the fans. So look, I think that'll be a decision between him and the club, but hopefully, yeah, there's something that can keep him here for the long term. But I do believe he still has one more year left after this. No matter what, I know he'll be here next year, and that's something that I think all of our fans and all the players are excited about.
Yeah. What has he done for your game, Alistair?
Oh, he's been great in terms of when I came in. Obviously, I came in under Ange, brought into invert, and I kind of hit the ground running a little bit, but was still kind of starry-eyed a little bit, okay, just trying to find my place. And when he came in, he kind of really unlocked me in terms of, he wanted me to be that fullback that bombed up and down, and not only was a shutdown kind of defender, but also got up the park and was constantly overlapping. He saw that I had the ability to do that, and he kind of really unlocked that between him and the help of John Kennedy. They've really kind of fine-tuned my game and brought me into probably my finest form that I've ever been in, especially I think that was probably at the start of the season. So look, he's been great for me. There's no doubt about that, and I've really enjoyed playing under him, and hopefully that'll continue for a long, long time.